listeners all over the world. This is where we discuss football, we discuss games, we discuss sports in general. But tonight we're focusing our Talk Sport podcast on football. Tonight's edition is titled The Global Football Chaos. We have various topics ranging from the Ronaldo's red card that just happened yesterday. We had UCL shocks and a lot of transfer wars and rumors here and there. I want you to come along. And before we go along, I want to introduce to you the special people that will be dissecting tonight's Talk Sport with me. And I have the gentleman from my far left, Yemite, right here with me. Yemite, you're welcome to the show.
Good evening, the doc. Good evening, Polo. It's so good to be back. And a lot on the menu tonight.
A lot on the menu tonight. And we also have right here in the studio, Poloski.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. Good evening, everyone in the studio. Thanks for having me. So excited to be back. And a lot has happened in recent days, and yesterday we saw, how Nigeria, defeated what they call them now, again Gabon, and can't wait to analyze the full details of the match.
Right, thank you. Polo said we can't wait to analyze the games and the things that went down recently in the world of football. As I said, welcome back once again. This is a home of real football talk and real debates and real analysis with passion. That's why you're here. That's why we're here to dissect things for you. Today's episode is so loaded. We're talking about Ronaldo's shocking red card. It's first ever red card for Portugal, and that's remarkable because he's played over 236 games for Portugal and he's getting just one red card, and there's so much noise about that. We're going to talk about that as we go on. We're talking about Manchester United's big transfer moves and a massive scandal happening in the world of Turkey. Oh my goodness, Turkey is experiencing a very big challenge right now in the world of football betting and sportsmanship, and we're going to be talking about that as well. Our pot is loaded also. We're looking at AFCON. The fever is building up for AFCON coming up starting in December, and we're also looking at the Lewandowski issue with Barcelona. Lewandowski, we know, is 37 years old and is almost out of his prime, as we know, but this guy is still doing fantastic things, even right at the dusk of his football career. And we're going to be highlighting the future as well, right here, where we're looking at the departing, we're looking at the incoming Lamine Yamal also for Barcelona. Then there was the shocker, Real Madrid-Liverpool in the UCL recently, and we saw how Liverpool tore Real Madrid apart, and who would have expected that? We're going to be talking about that as well. So you're welcome tonight for this show. Let's get straight into the action, and right now we're looking first of all at the Ronaldo's era. Is it the end of an era for a legend like Ronaldo, or was just an happenstance that will soon go away? Ronaldo, we know. Cristiano, he's 40 years of age, and he received his first red card for his international career yesterday, November the 13th, 2025. He got it from a brutal elbow on one of Portugal's FIFA qualifiers. The world is split right now. Was it frustration? Was it a decline in performance? Or simply the legend is refusing to fade away? So I'm going to throw the first question here to my far left here. Yemite, is this red card a sign of decline, or was it just a moment of frustration from a legend who still wants to compete at the highest level from your own point of view?
I think it's just frustration, coupled with the fact that they were trailing, and sometimes where you just don't expect the scoreline that you see, sometimes you can have a rash reaction to it. So football is a tense game, so sometimes you can lose your head, and so it's understandable.
Right. So now, Paulo, do you think that Portugal needs to start planning a future without Ronaldo, or is it still very valuable to let go?
Well, I think they already put that in motion. They started planning, and you could see with the inclusion of Goncalo Ramos and trying some other few players. And like Ronaldo said in his recent interview, he talked about probably his last World Cup being this one coming, and though they've not qualified, but they look to qualify on Sunday when they take on play their last game. If they can get the victory, then they've definitely qualified. But I think Portugal as a country or as a national team should be looking at the future, by planning having other players around, because it's definitely coming to an end for Ronaldo.
Right, so coming to an end for Ronaldo at the age of 40 years. Now, I remember Roger Milla for Cameroon in 1990. It was 41 years of age by then. It was 40, not 41, when he scored that massive, beautiful goal in that Italian 90, and he was about the oldest player to have scored in the World Cup at that point in time. And Cameroon went on to win that match, I think, against one of the Russian colonies now. I can't remember the country. Mike, what do you think? Should Roberto Martinez handle Ronaldo's leadership? How does he resolve this in the dressing room? He's the So how should Roberto Martinez handle this Ronaldo's leadership saga and the emotional impact in the squad, knowing fully well that for so many years Ronaldo has literally been the captain and the leader of the squad in that team, taking him out of the team gradually? How do you think Martinez should handle that, Mike?
I think that even Ronaldo himself has said this will be his last World Cup. So facing the reality, he himself knows that it's gradually winding down. I think if Adibini has won the World Cup, I don't think he will still represent Portugal at 41 or thereabout, 40, 41 or thereabout. So I think that him understanding that it's almost time to leave will make it easier for Martinez. And I don't think there's a big deal in the red card. It's just
more like media hype or something.
It's just one of those things.
It's just for the press to sell and for people to make some headlines from that. And we wish Cristiano Ronaldo well as he sleeps in the cooler for the next two World Cup qualifiers or the next two FIFA games while he's waiting. Straight on we go to Manchester United. Manchester United is in the news again. In this time around, we're looking at the player called Adeyemi Karim, playing for Borussia Dortmund right there in Germany. Karim's fallout at Dortmund could trigger a major move. Man U want a young, hungry, explosive talent, and Adeyemi fits the ball perfectly. So is Adeyemi the right profile for the United's build-up, or is he another risky talent like the various risky talents they've got in recent years?
I think so. I don't think it's the kind of player they need at the moment, because you look at how they play and you wonder where he's going to play, because you have the likes of Ahmad, who is even being played out of position. I mean, now Karim Adeyemi and his content, though is a very good player, but I don't think it suits Manchester United at the moment.
Mate, what do you think about this? Does this move signal United shifting towards youth first recruitment model? Because Adeyemi, we know, is 23 years old right now, and he's just getting, he's not even at his peak yet. And if United keeps looking at picking up young guys, is it like they are focusing on the youth and looking at the future plan?
First off, I think it's just a rumor. Second off, because I don't know why Manchester United we have Diallo, have Mbeumo, and still want to go for almost the same profile. It's like you're having too many of the same thing. So I think that most likely you might not go that route, but to the route of young players, that's where most clubs are going to now. They want to secure their future, and that's the way to go.
Right, so finally, I'm going to throw it back to you in the audience. Could Adeyemi actually transform United's attack, or does it need more time for development? Please put that in our comment section. Does it need more time, or is he willing or ready to transform United's attack and give them a favorable fighting position in the EPL and in Europe as well. You can put that in our comments.
Hello, welcome to another watch along on Premier Sport for Center. And tonight we have the biggest game in the EPL this week, and it's Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur in the North London. It always promises to be an interesting game when these two sides face off. It's not a title winning match, but that's mentality that brings into it because it's a derby. So we'll be going for the next 90 minutes in this match day to say if Arsenal can solidify their position as the first on the EPL table, or with Tottenham Hotspur add to the walls of the Gunners who are gunning for their first EPL titles after 21 years. My name is Adi M. Shogun. I'll be your host for today's watch along program. Don't forget, it's a commentary based on program where we give you analysis, minute by minute analysis of what is going on around the world of football. And tonight we have that big one in London, Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur. My name is Adi M. Shogun, like I said, but I'm not alone in the studio to do justice to this North London derby. I also have an Arsenal fan here, Paulo, and you can see him donning the Arsenal jersey, looking so bright tonight. I just hope at the end of the day you won't be able to smile. So it's better you smile now.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So excited to be here. At the end of the day, I believe the smile will continue to glow in my face. So excited. It's the North London derby. I'm so happy, football is back again after about 2-week break and due to the international break. And can't wait for the match to kick off.
Talking about Tottenham, let's start with Tottenham Hotspur here. So why your competitor today? They currently find themselves in the ninth position. They started like a house on fire when the APL started, but they've gone on to lose them 3 matches and currently find themselves at ninth position with 18 points. Should they get this victory, they'll be finding themselves around 21 points and be going straight to the 5th position or the 4th position. Under Thomas Frank, do you think Tottenham Hotspur they've really improved on this season?
Well, I think compared to last season in the league, I think they've stepped up a little bit because last season they were just giving. But this season also, they've had questionable moments. You look at their performance so far this season; they've been very good away from home compared to their home games. But so far, I think in the position they had now is quite better than where they were last season.
Okay, it's kick-started us already on at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal were playing from the left of our screen in their home attire, the red and the white shorts. White Tottenham Hotspur are also playing in their home attire, the white top and the black shorts in this encounter. It promises to be a fierce one, a fierce battle between these two rivals. Tottenham Hotspur ended last season with the Europa League title, defeating Manchester United in that final 1-0 in one of Ange Postecoglou's last game as the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. This time around, they have themselves Thomas Frank, the former Bournemouth manager, as a coach. Let's see what he brings as a coach. Is Tottenham Hotspur for the first time in the London derby since joining Tottenham Hotspur. It's kick-started already, like I said, and it's Tottenham Hotspur early on into this encounter. All the bets couldn't get onto that. It's going to be a throw-in to the Udoji couldn't get onto that. It's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. One man who has really been struggling for Tottenham Hotspur has to be Xavi Simons. Big money signing from Leipzig. Expectations were really much on that the Netherlands midfielder, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to give us those kind of performance we saw him give at Leipzig when he was at Leipzig.
Yeah, not only in this season so far, there are a lot of players that have not pick up, but for Xavi Simons, there were expectations on him. Though it was not their first target. The target was to get the man playing for Arsenal, Iberici Eze. So I think it was the plan B. But so far, he hasn't been live up to expectation. That is why he's rooted on the bench for today's game.
Yeah, you can always see that he's on the bench up today.
No Gabriel, but in Kepa, he hasn't. I don't know, maybe it's Tottenham, but I don't think he has had any, any
much game.
Yes, or stress. If you look at how the back line has been very, very quiet, that is the difference between Arsenal of this season and last season. But going into that game against Bayern Munich, I don't see anything to be worried because last season I think we played. Is it last season? I'm trying to remember. There was a season, probably last 2 seasons, we played Bayern Munich when it was still two leg affair. And they couldn't beat us at home here, but this time around, I think we are going to take all 3 points against them.
Okay, so that is a big one from the Gunners and fans. That mentality, that belief is the new found one for Arsenal come this season. They have that belief that yes, they can get a victory over Bayern Munich, who has really been impressive this season, both in the league and in the UEFA Champions League. They have that man who loves playing against Arsenal as their talisman up front there, Harry Kane. Former has scored over 20 goals on this season season already.
Yeah, and they've been very fantastic, very good in the league, in the Champions League. So also it's Arsenal in the Champions League. We are joint toppers. Though they top by I think by goal difference. So and in the league they are topping it. We too we are also topping it. So I don't think there's anything to fear against this.
Yeah, there's nothing to fear, but let's go straight to the statistics of this encounter where we've seen Arsenal dominate possession. 68% of the ball possession to the Gunners and barely 32% up to Tottenham Hotspur in this encounter shows how much Arsenal has really dominated this one, but it has really been shameful for Tottenham Hotspur has been they've had 0 total shots in this encounter, while Arsenal have seen 8 total shots in this game. One one corner kick for the Gunners. This is so much unlike Arsenal playing just one corner kick in the first half.
I think this Sunderland also. I think we had about 1 or 2 corner kick also in that game. But I don't think a lot of people tend to look at Arsenal. They say they are corner kick FC. No, it's because we attack and we don't just go and look for corner. You see teams trying to clear the ball, stop us from cornering. That is why they concede those corner kick. And you look at us now, we are not a set piece FC team. Today we've gotten goals. If you decide to stop us from getting goals from the normal way, then we turn it to set piece for you.
Okay, yes, we have a big second half to come in this encounter. Your expectations from the second half? Are you expecting the same total dominance from Arsenal in the second half, or you expect Tottenham to come into the second half with a bit of fight?
Well, I expect Arsenal to dominate the game overall completely, but also Tottenham to at least add a little bit of improvement, probably by the manager making early substitutions or probably switching players, also try to push players forward. I don't see any reason why he should continue playing 3 at the back, given the fact that there are 2 goals down, unless he just wants to continue to defend for them not to concede more. And now where it gets tricky is that you cannot just bring in more attackers and allowing Arsenal to eat them on the break, because you look at Arsenal, we still have players that are very quick, and also the likes of Martinelli can come in and I do they have one of the fastest defender in the league, talking about Van der Ven, but I don't think it can be everywhere at the same time. So Tottenham, I expect the manager first of all, he needs to make changes, at least withdraw one of those players.
Half-time substitution?
Half-time substitution by withdrawing one of those defenders. And even the midfield, you have players like, I think Pepe Metesa, who is also a very good runner, from the midfield to come in.
Okay, big second half to come in this encounter, and Tottenham Hotspur is going to be a replay of the UEFA Super Cup when they face off against Paris Saint-Germain. This time around, it's not going to be on the neutral ground, but they travel to Paris, Parc des Princes. That is the hunting ground for PSG. So that is really going to be one watch-watering game everybody really wants to see.
Yeah.
But we have the big second half to come back in this one.
Yeah, I think this weekend, I think it should be match day, the Champions League now. Match day, I think we've played about. Is it 4?
Let me check. I think we've played around 4 games. Yes,
because it should be match day 5 now. I think we are going to have an interesting set of fixtures.
Yeah, we have Chelsea. We have Chelsea against Barcelona.
PSG taking on Tottenham, Arsenal taking on Bayern Munich, and you look at the features. Then I think every football lovers will definitely have to be ready for big games coming on this.
Okay, you can trust us. You can trust us on Premier Sport Fan Center to be in the studio to give you analysis of those matches as it goes on in the UEFA Champions League. Come Tuesday, come Wednesday, when Chelsea face off against Barcelona on the 25th. That is one game on the eye of everybody. It should always be the biggest game, but this time around we have Chelsea. We are not really looking that big. It's 4 games been played already, and 2 of the 4 teams will remain, or 2 of the 5 teams rather, will remain unbeaten in the UEFA Champions League. We'll be facing off. So probably we'll be having one of them take an L after that game. Bayern Munich are the runaway leaders, having scored 14 goals and conceded 3 goals. They've won 4 out of 4, finds themselves on 12 points. Arsenal coming in second. They've played 4, 1-4, draw 0, and they've lost nothing but plus 11 goal difference. Same as Bayern Munich. They've scored 11 goals and they're yet to concede a goal. Inter Milan are currently third, having played 4 games, also won 4. They've won all their 4 matches and have plus 10 goals difference. That means they've scored 11 and they've conceded 1 goal this season in the UEFA Champions League. And surprisingly, Arsenal has a date with these 2 sides. You have a date against Bayern Munich and you also have a date against Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, and both teams are the teams I want us to play and get a victory over. But as it stands now, given the fact that to me, if you ask me, the kind of position we are now, I think I don't think we should take those two games too serious. You understand? If you understand what I'm trying, because the most important thing for you first in the Champions League now is for you to make the top 8. You get me? And us now, at the moment now, we are in a very comfortable position. And you look at the league now, I expect us now and Mikel Arteta to push much work on the league now than the Champions League. Then, because definitely I see us now finishing among the top 8. It might not be first or second, but I don't see us, going below the 8th position on the log before, the next set of games. So I expect us now to.
Okay, we have a big second half to come in this account, but before the start of the second half, we'll go for a quick breather. When we come back, it's going to be the second half. Okay, so the start of the second half, and you're welcome back to Premier Sport Fan Center. We have the next 45 minutes on the deciding and the most important 45 minutes of this game for Tottenham Hotspur if they want to stage a comeback. Yes, we predicted Tottenham Hotspur making an immediate substitution. Yeah, but just a chance for a touchdown. What a way to start the second half for the Gunners. Ibericheze making a double today against Tottenham Hotspur. His second goal tonight.
Yes.
You see what it means down to the England International. Arsenal tripling their lead in this one. What a way to start the first minute of the second half. And it's Arsenal with their third goal in this encounter. Ibericheze with his second in this encounter. What a game he's having. What an opportunity. What an opponent. What a day to come to the party and get some 3 goals against, 2 goals rather, against this Tottenham Hotspur side. And I can see how happy you are about Arsenal getting the third goal at the first minute of the second half.
Yeah, this is what you need, at least to fight off any Tottenham hope of coming back in this game. You see, we predicted they bring in a halftime substitution, which they did, but less than a minute of or 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes of restart, Arsenal, tripling that lead now. Iberichi is also the goal scorer there, and that was another beautiful take there. There's nothing the goalkeeper of Tottenham Hotspur could do to stop that one, but good one for Arsenal. And Iberichi is so happy for him, he chose this game to show us why he was brought in.
Beautiful goal, and it looks almost alike with the first goal, with his first goal in the second half, which happens to be Arsenal's second goal in the second half. I was asking the question when that opportunity came in for Ibericheze for the Arsenal's second goal. How do you open up your central defense? The heart of your defense is so much open, and you're giving a player like Ibericheze, this freedom to hold on to the ball and pick his spots.
Yeah, and it was, I think, you have about 2-3 players also trying to stop him, but he was able to at least bring the ball to his left foot, then take the ball away from the defenders and the goalkeeper. And another good play from him there, talking about Ibericheze.
Okay, he has a beautiful goal, and looks like he has 3 points in the bag for the Gunners in this encounter. And coming back in this one will really be a big one for Tottenham Hotspur to think of. Arsenal leading 3-0 in this account already at just on the 48th minute of this account. Ibericheze there. There was nothing the goalkeeper could do about that to stretch the goalkeeper beyond limits there. To find it into the top bottom of it. That is what we call R2 in PS in PlayStation. Very good for Arsenal. As Arsenal were coming out again looking for a third goal. It was a great chance for a third goal against the Tottenham Hotspur side. Arsenal looking for a corner kick, but referee says, "Oh no, that is not going to be a corner kick. Rather, it's going to be a goal kick."
I don't know.
Sorry,
The
the goalkeeper
prevent
actually
that one, yeah.
gathers that for Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0 in this encounter. Birichi with his first goal in the 41st minute after Leandro Trossard gave us the first goal in this encounter. I had the 36th minute. And at the 46th minute, we have Birichi with his second goal. He's a man on a run for an hat-trick in this encounter, and it's very much possible for him to get that hat-trick.
Very much possible. I don't think it should be withdrawn at all because you look at it, there's nobody to come out unless you want to bring on Ethan Waneri to come and replace him. But I would be happy if you can go ahead and get a hat-trick in this game.
Okay, so let's see if we'll be getting that hat-trick. Xavi Simons being brought into this game, as we've seen Danso being replaced by the manager. So it seems that he chose an attacking approach into the second half, and it really backfired at the first minute of the second half with Arsenal getting their third goal. But here's that man, Xavi Simons, trying to play in Mohamed Kudus. This is another player who has really been quiet in this encounter.
Yeah, I think their forward line, they've all been disappointed in this game. They've not had any impact. Look at the simple pass. They couldn't even hold on to that one. And they're playing, I don't know why, though Kudus has always been a good player, but so far in this game, I think the Arsenal defense have actually kept him very much quiet in this one.
Yes, and let's see if they can still stage one, come back in this encounter, or reduce the deficit, or with Arsenal maintain conceding just 5 goals in the EPL this season. It has really been an impressive one for the Arsenal's on backline. But it seems on Tottenham Hotspur also without Kolo Muani, he's on the bench tonight. Oh, okay, that means he's back from injury. So let's see if Kolo Muani will be coming in. Arsenal approaches and looking for a fourth goal in this one. And here's the Merendo into the box there. Well, Iberici is here, couldn't get onto that after a big deflection of that ball from the Tottenham Hotspur defender. Another throwing shot there from the Gunners. But this time around, he is met by a block there, but referee adjudged that to be an offside call. So it's going to be a lifeline for Tottenham Hotspur. At 51st minute, Arsenal 3 goes up. But you can still see the hunger. You can sense the urgency from the Gunners players. They really want more goal there. You have to give it that. That will have been a goal or a ball on the platter for the player there talking about that might have been his hat trick, and that could have been one of the easy hat trick to score. Under 10 minutes you're getting a hat trick for your side, but that is not going to happen as Christian Moreno got his head onto that, or Christian Romero rather got his head onto that to deny Arsenal of having a beautiful moment at goal there. So Tottenham Hotspur in possession of the ball right now against the Gunners as we are approaching the 5th or 2nd minute of this encounter. Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. I'm very sure if you ask Tottenham Hotspur fans, they'll tell you this is not what they've thought of coming into this game. It's fast turning into a training routine right now.
Yeah, and you look at the second half, Arsenal have not, they've increased the tempo, going for the key. You see, we could have even gotten at least another 2 as far as in these early first stages of this second half. And I see Arsenal still getting more goals.
Yeah, it's Bukayo Saka on the ball there, drops it inward there. Here might just be a chance for Arsenal to look for a third goal there. Beautifully defended there by Tottenham Hotspur. A look to send out one there. Under the part of DJ Spence, who lost possession. Yes, Arsenal back in possession. Odobet and Simon there. Will that be a free kick? Will that be a yellow card against Simon as Junior Timber, his teammate at the national team level? I think that both played at both played coming up the rank for Netherlands.
Yeah.
And they are currently full international teammates at the Netherlands national team. They'll both almost be on the plane with Netherlands. Come the next World Cup.
Yeah, and you quickly acknowledging that this is my countryman. You see, giving me a pat at the back there. And Jurgen Timber is one of those players I don't want to see go down at any moment because so far this season he has been one of the most reliable players for Arsenal. Strong going at the back, not easy to beat. And I remember this is his 3rd season at Arsenal. His 1st season I think he only played 2 games due to a pick up an ACL injury.
In second game. He has a free kick, and it's that big money sign man there. Declan Rice who is standing on this. Can they bag it in for the Gunners? This is where they really look dangerous from set pieces. One into the box there. This time around, this one invaded all the Gunners players, but Leandro Trossard we get at this for Arsenal. What would you make of that? So sprees of pass, then finds that man who is always dangerous and looking for his hat trick in this encounter. Iberichi but couldn't get one out of that. Here we have Kudus who tries to space the pass there. What would they make of that? Yes, Tottenham Hotspur attacking straight into the middle of the park. Arsenal winning through the ball back, but referee spotted an infringement. That happened immediately, almost. I was right there at the front of the referee. Zubimendi going into that tackle, so it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, so I like what Zubimendi did there. That's what you need from a proper number 6 there. Stopping that attack from Tottenham Hotspur there.
Okay, as we can still see Thomas Frank having words on his bench right there to say how they can salvage something from this encounter. But I think this is fast gone already. I don't think there's anything more Tottenham Hotspur can do. But this is a game of football. Anything can still happen.
Yeah, it's football, but with the way they are playing, I don't see anything happening for them other than them conceding more. Or highest they can get, I think, should be a consolation.
Okay, yes, I'm very sure David Raya wants to concede a goal, come in this encounter. Arsenal will attack. Bukayo Saka with the ball there. He has Udoji on him there. Udoji will try to spice up the England international. Back in place, Arsenal in possession. In the middle of the park, what would they make out of this? Still looking for more goals to send their France into more wide jubilation. Have a bragging right when they get to work on Monday. It's always a big battle at work on Monday, right there in London. Where you have Arsenal fans.
Not just London, everywhere around the world now. You look at what football has done to people.
Yeah, it's back of the net. What a goal there from Richarlison. What a hit. Well, was David Raya there? He was found once in there. And the Brazilian take one back into this encounter. And it's Tottenham Hotspur who has a lifeline already in this encounter. What a goal. Look at where he took that hit. What was the goalkeeper?
I don't think that's not the goalkeeper's fault. I think it's Zubimendi who refused to release the ball.
What was the goalkeeper doing this out?
Well, he needs to come out because we are with possession. Zubimendi, that was a good claim, but one that there, but I think that should be.
This should be a candidate. This should be a contender for the goal of the week.
Not just of the week, probably for the season also. But you look at the goalkeeper is way out, and kudos to Richarlison who saw he didn't take any step again.
That's not looking to come back in this one and return back into 3 goals and lead advantage. But Tottenham Hotspur will chase this one at the 5th or 7th minute. There's still a lot of time to go in this encounter, and they're still looking to see if they can get more goals over the Gunners in the zone. And Tottenham Hotspur were also without a corner kick in this encounter. Yes, going to be a goal kick to Arsenal at the 5th or 7th minute. I'm very sure Tottenham should be preparing a substitution. Here is where it's going to be confusing for the Tottenham Hotspur manager. Who should he be bringing in? Should it be, what's it called?
Another attacker?
Should it be another attacker in the sense of bringing in Kolomwani? But let's look at the bench of Tottenham Hotspur and see the players on the bench. We've seen Xavi Simons replace Danso at halftime. We also have Anthony Kingsley, the goalkeeper. Archie Gray is on the bench. Pedro Porro, Lucas Bagvelli, Papa Metesa, Mitchell Tel. We also have Brian Johnson. This is a player I'm actually surprised at the start of this game. And there's also Randall Kolomwani.
Yeah, I think Brendan Johnson rather has been one of those players that's had limited playing time under this new manager. We saw him last season. It was very good. I think he won them the Europa League. I think he was the one that scored the goal. Yeah, that gave them the Europa League. But this season he has been having limited number of games, and they still have Manchester on the bench. Kolomani, who also can come in for them, but. I think Arsenal just gave them that ball, and looking at Arsenal again, what's happening?
Yeah, we've seen the Gunners lose more possession in the middle of the park, and it's coming to look like the Arsenal we used to know. You see the Tottenham players there asking. I think that was a fair challenge, but the referee believes that was a hit there from Polia on the Gunners players. And we are straight into the 58th minutes. Both going into tackles there, Polia and Zubimendi. You have to see, this is footballers, they can be really, really dramatic.
Yeah, and Zubimendi again, I think
almost picked out of position.
I think it was Polia or that closed him down there also the other time, but he needs to be very careful, not just giving Tottenham free balls to go and get the goal again.
Arsenal back in possession of the ball there. This time around, Rosa for a throw into Tottenham Hotspur against the Gunners. Yes, I think that is one thing they really need to do. They need to calm things down at the back in this account. They're really losing possessions unnecessarily.
Yeah, I think in the last 2, 3, 4 minutes we've been rattled by Tottenham, but that's what goes those to you. You see Tottenham after getting that goal, they believe they can come up and get another goal, but Arsenal just needs to be calm.
Yeah, so let's see if the Gunners can get some back into the mojo in this one, though they've conceded one. But it's still a game of football. Anything can happen. Arsenal will look to approach the Tottenham Hotspur defense right now. Will this be a chance for them? Straight into the box there. Oh, but he was actually bullied off the ball. So it's going to be a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. 59 minutes gone in this account as we're approaching 1 hour of football. Arsenal leading 3-1, 30 more minutes to play in this encounter. 30 more minutes to go. Looks like 2 more goals for Tottenham is achievable.
It's football, but at the same time, Arsenal can still get 2 more goals in this game, and it will be a very, very bad one for Arsenal if they fail to take all 3 points in this game, which I don't see that happening, because I see Arsenal taking all 3 points there. Apart from that error there, or that mistake from the player Zubimendi there, who I feel should have released the pass on time. I don't think Tottenham have really created more.
Yes, Tottenham Hotspur gradually going in momentum in this encounter after that first goal. Let's see if they can get more goals as they approach. Yeah, we have Xavi Simons in the box there, trying to drive through, but the referee says that is going to be a goal kick, not a corner kick to Tottenham Hotspur.
I think he was looking for more.
I think he was looking for corner kick and not a goal kick, but the referee says that is a corner kick and not a goal kick. So it's Arsenal 3, Tottenham goal kick, not a corner kick rather. It's Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1 at the 60th minute, which means we've seen 1 hour of football. 30 more minutes to go in this encounter.
Yeah, 30 more minutes for Arsenal to take all 3 points, and I don't think we should panic at this moment. We just have to.
It's just about controlling the game. Yeah. That is what really matters right now for the Gunners. And let's see how much they can control this one. Takes a long one, tries to play in. Leandro Trossard is still in play. Is Arsenal in possession of the ball. Good defensive work there. A referee allows a play to continue. Since that was a fair challenge there from the Tottenham Hotspur defender. England international DJ Spence there. Yes, on Tottenham. Kudus being called into action. One of those players who has really had a silent game in this encounter against Arsenal. Still trying to find his way, but he's losing the ball. That should be a free kick out to Arsenal.
And even a yellow card to Kudus there.
There's Mohamed Kudus and also Eberechi Eze coming into contact there. So it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur. 62nd minute of this encounter. It's Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Let's see what goes on in this one. It's a battle of the number 10 against the number 20.
Richarlison.
Richarlison also coming into the mix there, but I think that was a fair one from Richarlison. If he just found himself in that moment there. 62nd minute, Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. We can see cameras are panning on that man who got Tottenham's only goal. Richarlison, the Brazilian. Here's a free kick to Arsenal. David Raya was found out of his position. This time around, also out of his box, but this time around is to take a free kick for the Gunners. 62nd minute. But we've seen Arsenal fans also complain about, David Raya conceding cheap goals you don't expect him to concede. The hard ones that you expect to go in for him, it's a beautiful or brilliantly saves those ones. But the ones you expect him to do better or put himself in better positioning is where he's always found one thing.
But I don't think there's any Arsenal fan that should be blaming him for this goal, because I think the fault was from the midfield. The midfielder there, talking about the number 6.
He was way out of his position.
Yeah, that's how he plays. Plays with the possession, because we are on possession now, and he needs to come out. Also, but I think we should be giving kudos to Richarlison, because to me that was a very good striker. He looked up one time and decided to go for it, and I think we did something similar when Vicario also came out. I think that was in the first half, but we couldn't get. But I think Zubimendi should be blamed for that.
Yes, the free kick to the Gunners there, straight punch there from the goalkeeper. We also have his still in play there with this big chance for Arsenal's fault. But the Gunners players still having possession. Here's a corner kick, and you can see the Arsenal fans and players are jubilating, but the referee says no, not a corner kick. It's going to be a goal kicker this time around. That is the fear factor for Arsenal fans. Whenever they see a corner kick, they all celebrate like it's one goal scoring opportunity. Yes, two substitutions from Tottenham Hotspur. One is Colomwani. This man famously remembered for that final miss in the FIFA World Cup against Argentina.
That was a great miss from Colomwani, but at the same time,
But he's also a quality striker on this day.
Well, I don't think so, because we see if he's a quality striker, I don't think he will be moving from PSG to
About PSG normally. I think the last striker that I really enjoyed this game at PSG, who is not even an out-for-out striker, has to be Kylian Mbappe. You look at the likes of Gasalo, Ramos, who has really struggled to start for PSG. I think that it's more of a team that rather plays with freedom for their wingers up front rather than playing with out for out striker. So you look at him at Juventus, where he went on loan. They have Dijan, Vlahovic, who is the top striker at Tottenham Hotspur. So it might have really be hard for him. But when you go back to antecedents, when he was playing with Leverkusen, Leverkusen, what's it called? In the German Bundesliga with Frankfurt. Yeah, Frankfurt. That was the same thing. Omar Mamouche also joined Manchester City for. He was a fantastic striker at that club, but returning to PSG was where he really found it hard.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you rightly say about PSG, I think the last striker, the proper number 9 that I really enjoyed there was Cavani. Yeah, aside from that, they've not had any number 9.
After Cavani, really, after the likes of Cavani and Zlatan Ibrahimovic,
probably Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Play with a 9.
Yeah, but Colomwani is one player. I think he came into the limelight more as a result of that miss he missed at the World Cup. But also, people are talking about the miss, but they are not really talking about that save from the goalkeeper, because you look at how the goalkeeper quickly came out, made himself big to stop Colomwani there. But on his own day, is a player that can cause havoc for his opponent. But at the moment, I think he's one of those players that lacks confidence.
All right, 24 more minutes to play in this encounter. Tottenham Hotspur preparing 2 substitutions of their own in this encounter. That was left to say if they can come back in this one. Yes, opportunity for them to make those substitutions. Will it be Richarlison be replaced now for Colomwani? Or will they be going through with another player? Colomwani is one player coming in, and we can also see Pepe Matassa, if I'm not mistaken, there. Yes, and we can see Odobet being replaced now right there.
Yeah, Odobet being replaced there, and Colomwani coming on. I think it's with
Bentancur also
with mask.
Is that a mask?
Yeah,
that looks more like a tape to me.
I think it's mask.
Yes, we have Pepe Matassa right there coming into this encounter for the remaining 25 minutes of it for Tottenham Hotspur. Can they push and get those 2 goals needed to stage a complete comeback against the Gunners, who had, I don't think Arsenal have considered 3 goals this season in the EPL. So that is one hell of a team to try and do in this encounter. Arsenal in possession with the speed. Vicario will come out and gather that for Tottenham Hotspur at the 6th or 7th minute of this encounter. We have Tottenham Hotspur coming forward to attack against the Gunners right there in the midfield. The Pepe Matassa with his first touch of the game in this counter returns it back into the heart of the defense there, and we have it on the captain's feet. I'm talking about Christian Romero, the Argentine international, looks forward into the middle of the park and finds his teammate onto the wing there. Here's the first touch also. That's Pepe Matassa right there on the ball, if I'm not mistaken. Returns it back to Romero. Romero finds Vicario. Vicario on the ball there for the Tottenham Hotspur. Sends a long one, tries to play in the path of Richarlison. Arsenal return that back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. He has Richarlison on him. A long one there from David Raya, beautifully kicked in there, finding the first goal scorer in this encounter, Leandro Trossard. So it's a free kick to Arsenal and a infringement on Trossard.
I think Leandro Trossard has been one of the best players for Arsenal in this game. You look at how he has been bringing that ball. You can
say that again.
Yeah.
A player getting 2 goals. One more goal for Ibericheze in this game. We all but secure this man of the match status.
Yeah, but you look at Leandro Trossard. He has been very, very good. He's not one of the. He's probably one of the shortest players for Arsenal in this game. But you look at how he has been contesting ball, bringing down balls down for Arsenal. But and looking at that kind of how he has been dropping ball, and he almost had an assist for Ibericheze there. But so far, I think Ibericheze is probably one of the top contender for the man of the match.
Okay, so let's see if we can get the man of the match, and that comes at the end of this encounter. As we are currently at the 68th minute of this game, Arsenal in possession, looking for their fourth goal. And that man is always a joy to
don't
build
lose
the
the
ball off his
ball.
feet. He's always a wall. But finally, I thought I must are winning that, and straight onto the parts of Xavi Simons, which still looking for his first APL goal since joining Tottenham Hotspur. Finds Richarlison, returns it onto the wing there. And yes, Tottenham Hotspur with a moment of their own. It's going to be a goal kick out to the Gunners at the 69th minute of this encounter. The clock keeps on turning away in this encounter. Arsenal leading 3-1, but it has really been, the turn of Tottenham Hotspur to enjoy possession since the first half of this encounter. After that goal, it seems that goal has really brought a bit of life into Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I think they've stepped up after conceding the third one. They waited till they conceded the third one, and I think the goal, the goal that we gift to me, that was a gift. Give them also has inspired them to continue to push further. But so far. They've really stepped up.
Yes, there's an Arsenal player currently down there, Mikel Moreno. That is the Spaniard who is still looking for his own goal in this encounter. It looks like a yellow card to one of the Tottenham players already again in this moment. Let's see what really happened.
I think that was
an elbow from Van der Veen. Let's see if VR will be interested in that, if that was a possible red card on situation. But I think the referee is okay with the yellow card dished out to the Tottenham Hotspur
I think they have to make Moreno
at the 7th. Is it to Moreno?
We just have to confirm.
We're waiting for confirmation to see who actually got that yellow card. It seems it's Moreno who got it.
But why is he getting a yellow card?
Okay, the game will be restarted by a draw ball, and we are currently at the 70th minute. 20 more minutes to play in this one for Arsenal, and it looks like Arsenal are getting this victory.
Yeah, and
but one more goal from Tottenham. It was Romero. Yeah, Romero. That's the confirmation. Romero getting the yellow card right there. Well, this is a game of football. 20 more minutes to play. One more goal from Tottenham Hotspur might just spark a big reaction from Tottenham Hotspur in this encounter. Straight into the box there. Referee says on play should continue that was a fair challenge and not one good enough to be a penalty for Colomwani. And that is one man they have to be careful around the box whenever he gets onto the ball.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. And the defender there, actually got the ball there and, passing it back to the goalkeeper. Looking back at that incident, I think Romero deserved more than that yellow card there, because that was a deliberate, elbow there on the Arsenal striker there. But, the player had to continue. Probably the referee didn't see it, and VAR didn't want to really intervene much.
Okay, so let's see how that happens. And this one is a free kick out to Arsenal. David Raya takes a long one into the Tottenham Hotspurs on box there. What will they make a chance for Arsenal? Still Arsenal who are enjoying that possession. A long shot there. Vicario being called into action. A beautiful save also from the goalkeeper. Bukayo Saka with a trademark shot. But this time around, it's not going to the back of the net. Beautifully torn, beautiful turn there from the England international. What a collar that was destined for the back of the net. But beautiful stretched and save there from Vicario for Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal has a corner kick. And here is where they look dangerous.
But there's no Gabriel. Gabriel.
There's no Gabriel, but there's a Saliba, there's Nkapie also.
But I don't think they are as good as Gabriel.
This is just the second corner kick for Arsenal in this game.
Yeah.
It's so surprising.
I don't think it's surprising, given the fact that how Tottenham they're not clearing the ball towards, they clearing it off with compared to other players that send it out for a corner.
Here's a corner kick quickly taken, but this time around the half save there and a long one there from the Gunners. But this time around it's not going to threaten the goalkeeper as we're getting straight into the 73rd minute. Berichi with the last touch of the ball there. But couldn't get a goal out of that. He's still looking for one more goal to complete his hat-trick in this encounter. It's 3-1 Arsenal lead in this encounter. Tottenham will break out from the back and build play from the back in this one. And the long one tries to play in Kudus, who has really been relatively quiet in this encounter. Arsenal in possession of the ball. Declan Rice getting onto that and holds onto the ball there. What will he make out of that? Looks in what finds his Arsenal teammate here. Might just be Arsenal's chance there. But still the Gunners in possession. What would they make out of that? Leandro Trossard, another corner kick to the Gunners right now in this encounter. We're straight into the 74th minute of this game. Arsenal leading 3-1. Still 16 minutes to go right now.
Yeah, still 16 minutes to go. I think the last 2-3 minutes, Arsenal have been able to calm things down. You look at the pressures that Tottenham were mounting after getting that goal. But we've responded very well and still looking good for all 3 points.
Yeah, all is looking good for Arsenal to get a 3 point in this one against Tottenham Hotspur. As we get straight into 74th minute of this encounter. Declan Rice standing on this corner kick. And he takes a long one into the box there.
Yeah.
And is that going to be it? No. Our net did that not go into the back of the net. Tottenham Hotspur breaking out on the counter. What in hell was that throwing from the goalkeeper? Yes, Arsenal back in possession. Returns back to David Raya, the goalkeeper, who finds Iberichi Eze, who chase down reduce the the infuse of that long throw from the goalkeeper Vicario. Arsenal back in possession. Bukayo Saka on the ball there for the Gunners. Looks inward and finds his teammate. Arsenal tries to break through, but Tottenham Hotspur breaks that pass there, and we have Xavi Simons approaching. Nose onto the ball for Tottenham Hotspur. Switches on wing there, finds Mohamed Kudus. Kudus on the ball there for Tottenham Hotspur. He crosses into the box there, but saves straight into the hands of the goalkeeper David Raya. And it's 75 minutes, 15 more minutes to play in this encounter.
What's David Raya doing in now?
What's that from Raya? Yeah, we have Tottenham Hotspur back in possession. He crossed into the box there. But Arsenal getting onto the end of that, but that should be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. Pressure, is that, should we say it's a pressure? Should we say it's pressure unnecessary mistakes being made by the Gunners and players? And we have words there between Saliba and Richarlison.
Yeah, and Richarlison is one of those players that know how to wind up our players. Yes, and I won't be surprised if he pick up a yellow card in this game.
Okay, let's see if that is going to happen in this one. Looking at that cross there from Mohamed Kudus into the box there.
And he was pulling Saliba there.
Yes, Tottenham Hotspur back in possession of the ball. Referee asks for a throw-in to be retaken there. So it's Deja Spains which standing on this ball for Tottenham Hotspur, ready to retake the throw-in, and holds onto it. Quickly taking and finds some his teammate there. The captain, Romero. In the hearts of the defense. He's also on a yellow card in this game. One of the two Tottenham players and one of the two players only to pick up a yellow card in this counter. If there's one thing Arsenal's really done in this game, is kept it clean for the whole team. Yes, Arsenal approaching the box there. Managed very chance ready for it to go with this beat. To get your hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur. Berichi is completing his hat-trick at the 7th to 5th minute of this encounter. And that man keeps on making himself dangerous week in, week out in the Arsenal color.
Yeah,
and almost the 3 goals like for like.
Yeah, like for like. Taking those balls as I think on the edge of the box there. Beating the goalkeeper, and the goal has been coming for him, and he finally got it. I think this goal has actually put everything, all the little effort that Tottenham have made in the last 5-10 minutes to an end.
Now there's a big question. When the captain is back, Martin Odegaard, how are you going to manage this Memphis situation of having either Berichi starting or Martin Odegaard coming back into the starting 11?
I think the captain will still take his spot. Talking about him.
Eze is not effective on the wing. That's what you guys need to always remember.
I think that should be a very big, tough edict for Mikel Arteta. And at the same time, you need to give Mikel Arteta kudos because he has created that edict for himself, bringing on players that can. One thing but I think Eze gets more good and. The captain, Eze is more tricky, but you look at the captain. He has the killer passes. He knows how to, tread those kind of pass. But at the moment, Eze is in top form. I expect him to keep his place midweek and probably the weekend.
Okay, that's an important edict here for the manager. Mikel Arteta. Yes, another substitution from the Gunners. We have Trossard being replaced in this encounter for Noni Madueke, who is back from injury. And also the inefficient Mohamed Kudus also being replaced in this encounter.
Really ineffective.
Ineffective, yeah. He hasn't been effective, inefficient in this encounter. Really quiet game from Mohamed Kudus. From all his standards, you expect more from him. We also have a Baron Johnson also being thrown into the game already.
Yeah, I think
now so we have 30 more minutes to go. 13? Is it trying 13? Yeah. Is it trying to get 3 goals in 30 minutes? And we also have the hat-trick boys still remain on the pitch. More goals, or is it possible for him in his counter? Anything can still happen in the game of football.
Well, well, anything can still happen. Arsenal can still get more goals, and
It's better you don't score your goals now before you run out dry against what's it called, Bayern Munich and Chelsea.
I think
Arsenal in possession with a spirit chance.
this should be another goal.
Yeah,
It's
he's a
oh my
very
goodness, what are you doing now? Are you
A
pitying them?
big save there from
What is
Vicario.
What
Other
is
than
this
that,
now?
it's his fourth goal. A
think
double
it-
brace in his encounter is still very
What
much
is
possible.
this?
And it's still how much how much opening, how much space they are giving to Iberichieze in the middle of
my
the park.
goodness.
This is where he looked dangerous. Even right from his days at Crystal Palace, you don't give him those moments, you don't give him those space in the middle for him to have that enough time to pick a spot. And 3 times in this game, Tottenham Hotspur, I find it hard, hanging on and holding on to Iberichieze. And 3 times he has hurt them when find himself in that position. And yes, Tottenham Hotspur, what can they make out of that? And it's really great seeing Nani Madueke back in from injury. So we might be seeing him starting against Chelsea come next weekend. And yeah, he's Richarlison on the ball. There, goes straight onto the wing and finds his teammate Brian Johnson, if I'm not mistaken there. No, that's Xavi Simons. Yeah, Xavi Simons on the ball there for Tottenham Hotspur, and he goes straight for a goal. That one's threatening the goalkeeper at the 80th minute of this encounter. 10 more minutes to play in this encounter. So it's one of those moments, and one of those times you say it's Sokwe Otilo ready in this game of football. At the 80th minute, it's Arsenal 4, Tottenham Hotspur 1. I don't think there's anything Tottenham Hotspur will be able to. We're sorry for the technical glitches there, but we're back live on this game between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. It's 4 minutes additional time in that account, and it's still 4-1. The Gunners leading in that one. We're straight into the third minute of 4 minutes additional time. Don't forget, it's a hat trick for